in holding. I have explained all of his options, and I think he wants to move forward and admit to the violation today.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
You did not, and the violation would be that the tether was cut.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
All right, you admit to that.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to say before I sentence him on this?
I think Mr. Reed, I'm going to let him speak on his own behalf. He's mentioned to me that he wants to speak to Your Honor. I will say after our hearings, prior to the holiday, he did call me and kind of give me the lowdown on everything. I think he's incredibly remorseful for not being completely frank with myself and Your Honor at his last hearings. I think he's been in custody for 2 weeks now, and says he knows he needs to be better, and is dedicating himself to doing that moving forward. He really does want to get out of custody and get back to work, to support his children. He said this is the longest amount of time he's been away from his children, and that's been one of the hardest things that he's had to experience during this whole ordeal. But I think the time that he's had to think has really put things into perspective. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Reed, because I think hearing from him directly will emphasize that.
Go ahead.
So yes, I did intentionally cut the tether, but once I did it, something snapped in my head, and I realized I was like, what am I doing? Like, I know this is wrong, and I immediately got a hold of the emergency tether line. I called them, told them, what happened, and they had me send.
Well, you gave a version of what happened.
Yeah, the version instead of telling the truth, which I definitely need to do point blank. Because when you don't tell the truth, it just makes things worse. I did send pictures in. I still went to community corrections the next morning to get a new tether, and still showed up to court. And I've definitely had a lot of time to reflect on what I've done these last 2 weeks. It really hit me hard Thanksgiving morning when I woke up and realized that I wasn't gonna be able to see my kids for the holiday. And then I called my sister to ask if the kids were going to be at my family's Thanksgiving. And then when I found out that they weren't and I wasn't going to be able to talk to them that day, that also hit me really hard. And realizing that if I don't take accountability for my own actions and actually do what I'm supposed to, it's never going to get any better.
Did you really think I was going to buy your story?
I'm gonna be honest with you, no.
Then why'd you keep doubling down?
I have no idea, sir.
I mean, I'm looking at the cut on it, and I had it pretty much figured out.
I even went and got super glue to try to super glue it back together.
Pardon?
I even got super glue from the store to try to super glue it back together. And then I realized that wasn't working. So
I mean, what were you thinking when you just decided you were going to cut it?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I don't plan on running or anything. We got kids that I want to be able to see. And I want to get out of this whole process and be able to continue on with life and not get in trouble again. I know what I did was completely wrong. And it should have never happened in the first place.
And you know, had you just told the truth over here, on November 17th?
Yes, sir.
Probably would have been out for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I realized that.
And all around this is just stupid.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to say before I sentence him?
Nothing, Your Honor. I'd ask that the court sentence him to credit for time served and reinstate his personal bond. As we say at the bench, he is being seen by Judge Perry on Wednesday. His bond there is denied, but she's kind of indicated she's waiting to see what Your Honor does.
Sentence you to 14 days, Washington County Jail, credit 14 days served. Your previous bond with its conditions is reinstated. Ma'am, you are trying to address the court. What is she?
And that's correct, Your Honor. The victim is present to address the court if the court wanted to hear from her.
Yeah, what are we going to do on this?
I'm asking to for final settlement.
Are you going to be ready Friday?
We asked for that date if the people will be ready, but I know it's
Well,
Friday.
All right. Then I'll set jury final settlement conference.
What is it?
What is that?
It's
December 5th. Today's the 1st. December 5th. Today's the 1st. That keeps going on in my head.
It's already December. Can you believe it?
yeah.
That wasn't my point, but okay, Miss Mary. December 5th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, in this case, will take place December 8th, 2025 at 8:30. Did you want to address me, Esteban?
You'll say where.
You need to have a sentence, sir.
Courtroom hearing took an unexpected turn as we followed the case of Mr. Reed, a man facing a probation violation after intentionally cutting his GPS. Tether. What started as a routine review quickly shifted into one of the most dramatic moments we've seen inside this courtroom. From the start, Mr. Reed admitted he cut the tether. But what shocked everyone wasn't the violation, it was what he did after. Instead of telling the truth, he created a fake story, doubled down on it, and even tried to superglue the tether back together to cover it up. That detail alone stopped the judge in his tracks. And when the judge asked, "Did you really think I was going to buy your story?" Mr. Reed had no explanation. It was clear the lie had dug the hole deeper than the violation itself. But beneath the frustration and disbelief, there was another side to this hearing, the human side. Mr. Reed explained that spending 2 weeks in jail, especially missing Thanksgiving and being away from his children, forced him to face the consequences of his choices. He admitted he panicked, made a terrible decision, and then made it worse by lying. For once, we saw genuine remorse, not rehearsed excuses. The judge had to balance both truth and empathy. On one hand, cutting a tether and lying about it is serious. On the other, Mr. Reed voluntarily called corrections, showed up to court, replaced the tether, and spent 2 weeks reflecting in custody. In the end, the judge sentenced him to 14 days time served and reinstated his bond, essentially giving him a warning and one more chance to prove he can follow the rules he agreed to. But there's a bigger lesson in all this. Judges don't just punish violations, they punish dishonesty. One bad choice can spiral into weeks of consequences if you try to outsmart the system. In this case, shows exactly how fast things can escalate when panic replaces responsibility. Still, this is not the end of the road for Mr. Reed. He has a chance to return to work, support his kids, and rebuild the trust he lost. Whether he takes that chance seriously is something only time will tell. If you followed this hearing all the way through, you know it had everything: drama, emotion, and a moment of harsh truth. The courtroom isn't just about laws. It's about accountability. And today, accountability won.